Okay, we'll call the meeting back to order. And Don, I guess we're ready for you.
First of all, thank you for the estimates.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that, I believe they were a day late, but it's the soonest I could get Lane over here to help me.
A whole day?
I think. They might have been on time, but yeah, that was as soon as I could get her over here to walk me through it. She tried to do it over the phone, and there was a snafu, and she's like, this will be better if I could just be in person with you. So she came over on Wednesday and spent the day with me, going through some stuff and helping me out. Actually, it was Tuesday. So that was good. She offered to come back whenever she could, which was great. April in Sherman County has offered to help as well as best as she can. So that's been nice to have those people to bounce things off of and ask questions and all that. So just an update, I guess. You guys are probably curious where the office stands.
Yeah.
So we're current on check deposits. So we're not holding any checks. Current day is getting sent to the bank, and everything has been caught up. Daily processing, Dolores did do a good job trying to catch up the last couple of weeks that she was here. She processed May, June, and July of 2020, so we are now up to the first business day of August 2020 for processing. So that's the next big hurdle, is to get 2020 fully processed. I am working on a general ledger spreadsheet. Dolores used to call it a recap. It was how the office would balance the funds with the banks. It'd be like if you did a cash audit.
Right.
That spreadsheet had a bunch of formulas, and it pulled from other spreadsheets, and it was a little chaotic. I didn't enjoy it when I was in the office previously, so considering we're starting so far back and the recap was never created for 2020, I am creating a general ledger to where I want it to be, since I have the opportunity. So I just finished February of 2020 getting that caught up. So I'm going to get the general ledger caught up to where she's processed at the end of July of 2020, and then I'll start processing August and getting the daily ledger caught up daily when I process the day. Michelle and Amy are both working on trying to get 2021 stuff entered, receipts and paid out, because that got stopped in January for some reason. I don't know why. So it's all just been handwritten notes. So Michelle's working on the paid outs and Amy's working on the paid ins. So that way things will start showing up in departments and all of that. And I think Amy is into March. Maybe she just started March.
So what are you saying, that one of these days people will be looking at their budgets and see where they're at?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Yes. And I can, if you ever decide to do a surprise cash audit, I could say, yeah, here's the ledger.
Thank you.
And Malva, was she going to come in and help you?
Melva is coming in Monday and Tuesday. She's at Rawlins County Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So she does have Monday, Tuesday available to come in. She has offered to come in and help. Right now she's just doing title approvals because, as you guys are aware, we are very behind in title approvals. So when she was here on Monday, she did a quick count. Unfortunately, the system doesn't total it for you. You have to print it out and then count them. But she counted 157 titles that were outstanding for 2020. We haven't even tackled 2021 yet. But in her 2 days that she was here, she got 27 titles approved. So, and that,
Tell her to speed up.
well, that's what I was just going to say. Monday, we had a problem with getting her username and password set up with the state and getting called back and all of that. So Monday, she really didn't. Monday, she just kind of oriented herself with the stacks of paper and what was approved and what hasn't been approved and kind of how it's somewhat organized. And then Tuesday, she really got in on it and started approving. So actually the 27 titles that she did were all done on Tuesday. So since Monday is a holiday, and the Rawlins County Treasurer understands kind of where we're at over here, she did tell Melva that she could come here next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, so we would still get her for 2 days here, since Monday is a holiday. So hopefully we can, with the 2 days, if she can do 50 or 60 titles every week, we should get caught up relatively quickly. And if you come into the office, you'll see she's sitting in the middle station, and the plexiglass is still up with arrows telling them to go to either Michelle or to Amy, because I don't want Melva doing current customer traffic. Michelle and Amy need to do the current customer traffic while Melva does all the catch up on the title approvals. So that's kind of where we're at with that. Do you guys have any other?
No, I don't have any questions now but I think you're doing a good job so far. It's nice to have you here.
It's
You know,
it's kind of bittersweet, but yes.
yeah, I know it's not going to be easy.
Yeah. It's not difficult. It's just we just need the man hours. We just need to be here, and we just need to get it done.
Right.
So we'll get there.
Yeah.
Anything else from?
No, thank you.
And I'll try to get on the agenda, probably the last agenda of the month, just to kind of give you an update on what we did for that month, to kind of keep you guys in the loop.
Okay.
And keep the public in the loop too, because I know, especially with like title approvals and stuff like that, I know that's a lot of them are wanting their titles, and yeah, yeah, I know I have 2 titles awaiting as well, so to let them know that Melva is here, we are working on it. It should speed up, because in the past months, it's just been when they call in and need it now, they would go dig it up, find it, and approve it. And that was it. That was the only time a title would get approved, is if it got to the point where a dealership called or a lien holder called or a customer had called enough times that they would just go find it and get it done. So now we are doing those, but that's about as much as Amy is doing as far as title approvals, is just when Melva's not here. If a customer calls or somebody calls and it needs it now, she'll go find it and get it approved, because she does have that capability. It's just Melva's going to be the concentration of, so hopefully that will cut down on the phone calls, that'll cut down on the public unhappiness.
For lack of better words.
Yeah, but that brings
Having
up,
one dedicated person that'll get them done.
right, yeah, and that will help out with keeping Amy doing current stuff and getting those current receipts in, so the departments can see their budgets and can see their numbers, because I know that's important too. So there's fires is kind of everywhere, and I'm trying to task a fireman to each one type of thing, to get the whole thing under control. So with that also being said, I would like to suspend driver's license services for the county for hopefully June and July. Driver's license it's a very time-consuming process. When one customer comes in, it takes at least a half hour or sometimes longer to get it done. We are only a renewal station, and if you have a CDL or if you have concealed carry, we can't renew you either, so that cuts down the amount of people that we can renew to, because there's so many CDLs and so many concealed carry people in the county.
So you're talking about suspending that all the time?
No, just
Or
for
temporary?
June and July. We just have so much daily work coming in, and trying to get caught up on the back stuff. I would like to limit the daily work coming in.
Just on that.
Just on that front, I've talked to the Sherman County Treasurer and the Thomas County Treasurer. They thought it was a great idea. They thought it would be something that would be very feasible. They also understand that is going to increase their traffic in their offices, and they are okay with that as well.
Which that's something people need to understand. If you
Right.
don't have a CDL and you don't have a conceal and carry, you can go to Goodland, you can
Right.
go to Rollins.
Right. You can go anywhere in the state.
Right.
If you happen to be in Manhattan visiting your kid, you can go there.
Right.
Do you think it would be wise maybe to put an article in the paper?
Yes. So that's
And explain it to everybody
Yes.
that we're doing this
yes.
to get caught up?
Yes. Yes. So I just didn't know how you guys wanted me to handle that. I was going to do something on the Facebook post and
Facebook and papers.
and on the county website too. Just
And I think most people will understand.
Yeah.
yeah.
Let them know that you're so far behind.
Right.
that-
Well, and right now, I'm not trained in driver's license. They are going to make me redo the driver's license training, from what I can understand from my correspondence with the state, for me to get my username and password back. For movers, there is an online training course. So as soon as I get sworn in, they'll send me the link to do the online stuff, so then I can then do titles and registrations and all of that. I don't have to go to a training class. So that, with that being said, I'm not caught up on driver's license, and so I kind of, if there's a question that needs to be asked, I can't answer it, and Michelle's not fully trained on it, and so it's a weak spot in the department anyways that really needs to be focused on and trained on and to be brought up to speed. And right now we're trying to bring so many other things up to speed. I think it's just in the best interest of everything to suspend it for 2 months, get caught up, do the training, so that when we do come back, hopefully in August, with offering it to the public again, we can do it correctly, we can do it efficiently, and not take, half hour, 45 minutes to get it completed.
And by then you'll be caught up more and you can,
Right, right.
What does the county receive from the state to do a renewal?
On a driver's license, $2.
$2.
Yeah, so it's not a huge revenue for the county either.
It takes 45 minutes to an hour to do it.
Yeah,
So it's really a service.
it is a service.
I mean, they started that when I was a commissioner,
Right,
clear back when Gladys Cook was in there. And
Right.
Gladys,
right,
she kind of fought it because it was going to be a lot of work and
Right.
no income.
yeah, yeah. And I do think it is a great service to the county. I don't want to not do it, but right now, it just, we've got to balance it. We've got to weigh where it's at. And that was just something that I saw that, as far as time consuming, and it's not going to really hurt the budget or the end, the dollars, because that's what we're all here for, is the dollars. And it'd help a lot to keep the girls focused on current stuff and the past stuff, and kind of get everything a little bit more caught up, because I know Brett said in past meetings that you can't, if you have the daily stuff coming in, how are you catching up on the behind stuff if you're trying to keep up with the current stuff? So I would like to be able to get caught up. And this is something I think would be a huge benefit. So I'll get with Scott on how to get that word out to the public. And like I said, I'd like to do it for June and July, definitely, and then kind of revisit mid-July to see if maybe we need to do it through August. But I think if we do it through June, July, that should be long enough without upsetting too many taxpayers.
if you can do that, let us all know how to do it.
Okay.
So they can just go to like Sherman County or?
They can go.
Rollins
They go to
County?
any county. Yes. Yep. And most of them, if they have CDLs or concealed carry, they have to go to
Go to
Colby
Colby
anyways.
anyway, yeah.
So
Kind of heard that they've been doing that anyway.
yes, Sherman County actually just last year started a out of county fee because they only get $2, and they were doing a lot of out of county Cheyenne County people were going to Sherman County, and so they actually just instated a fee for an out of county. And so I talked to April, the treasurer over there, and she said that if it was from Cheyenne County, they would suspend the fee and just do it as because we have shut down our
As a courtesy kind
yeah,
of thing.
yep. And I'll just communicate to her when we reopen again, and then she can start applying her fee again at that time. But for right now, she would, and I will double check with Rollins County to make sure that they don't have a fee, an out-of-county fee. So yeah, they can, but they are going to have to call that county to find out what they're going to require, because that's been the hardest thing is that they'll come in here and they don't have the right paperwork and they can just go home. Well, if they're in Sherman County and they don't have the right paperwork and they have to come home, so I need to make sure that I communicate that well to everybody, that they do need to call whatever treasurer's office they are going to and to speak to them specifically on what paperwork they want so that they take what they need to limit their going back and forth. So if you guys are good with that, then I will go ahead with that and
I
continue.
think the public will understand.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Considering it's temporary, I hope they can allow a little.
You'll have a
If
couple
I'm
that'll
also-
come in that don't have Facebook and don't read the paper and be a little
Right.
grumpy.
Well, I'll put a sign up on the door too, and try my best to get it out there every way that I know how to get it out there.
But you can't get it to everybody.
Right. Well, that's just
Post office.
yes, yeah. That would be a good one too. Is posted at the post office. Yep. So, but I thought I'd give you guys fair warning in case you get some grumpy people,
Yeah.
because that's inevitable. If you guys don't have anything else for me, then or any questions, then
I don't have any other questions.
Thank you.
you're very welcome. Yes.
Enjoy your day.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Rodney, looks like you're,
I'm not going to take much of your time. I wanted to talk about the statute here, 19-204, which requires the rearrangement of commissioners' districts every 4 years. Okay.
I want to rephrase that. The only thing that there is such districts shall be subject to alteration.
Pardon?
The only line in that pertains to this is such districts shall be subject to alterations at least once every 3 years. Not that it has to be, but they have to be altered. It's just that they can be altered. The very last sentence of the first paragraph.
do we have the same paper? Each of you have the same paper?
You're looking at 2018. I'm looking at 2020.
It's the same thing. I got it off the
Pardon?
state legislature's website. It's the same exact,
Pardon?
it's the same exact wording. Just read the very last sentence, that's what I talked to the Secretary of State's office. That last sentence is the only thing you need to be worrying about. Of that first paragraph.
Oh, of paragraph A. at least once every 3 years. Yeah, I'm sorry, I did say 4.
Well, he said it
Stand
says
corrected.
subject.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
No. The thing is, it's equal voters in each district, right?
When it's
That's-
first set up.
that's how you determine-
yes. When it's first set up.
Yeah.
When it was first set up,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, and that still prevails when you do a rearrangement.
If you do a rearrangement.
Okay, if you do a rearrangement. So,
So what are you saying? You want to rearrange this, or what's going on?
well, I think you need to look at it, that's all I'm saying. Because Scott can print out a voters list for each district, and you can look at the equality of voters in each district. And what you're going to find is, over the years, District 2 and 3 have grown tremendously, and District 1 has shrank as far as voters go. And
Okay.
to me, it needs to be readjusted. Now, I'm one person, but to readjust it, you'd have to move your boundaries probably drastically to the west and pick up more farms and ranches in order to make the distribution equal amongst the 3 districts.
That would give me more work.
Well,
No.
okay, so I understand what Rodney's saying. And the time that the commissioners are supposed to review this is at the organizational meeting in January every 3 years.
Okay.
Scott and I have had numerous discussions in regards to this issue, for lack of a better term. But it's supposed to be done at the organizational meeting in January, and the commissioners can look at where the district lines are, the number of voters in each of the districts, and make a decision as to if it needs to be more equal or not. Now, I think that Cheyenne County, my personal opinion, not my legal opinion, personal opinion, is that when it comes to Cheyenne County, basically what you have is you have the northwest, you have the southwest, and you have the east half. And the east half has always been what we would call the Bird City position. If there is any sort of reorganization to accommodate for the decline in population for what we call the Bird City district, you're going to be coming into St. Francis. And then people in St. Francis can be running for that Bird City district. And I am not supportive of that because I think that Bird City needs to have an equal say, just like each of the other districts, because they're just as much a part of this county as St. Francis. So my personal opinion in looking at the redistricting, yes, there is a discrepancy in regards to the numbers, but if you're going to keep harmony within Cheyenne County, probably the best thing to do is just leave it how it is.
Okay,
I mean, that,
yeah.
and that's my reasoning, and I've talked with Scott about that, because Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, Scott, but
Yeah.
Scott's pretty much of the same opinion.
Right. To get it equal, there would be St. Francis city residents, more than likely, in the Bird City Township. Or in the Commissioner District 1. And I think that's opening a can of worms.
Doesn't it run pretty close to the school district line?
Yeah, right now it does.
Right now, it runs on the school district line. And I think people went over there and want to vote on their school district stuff. You know, if they had one with a bond or the same way over here.
I had thought it was more area as to people.
When they originally set it up, they had to set it up so that it was all equal.
Okay.
Every 3 years, you can look at changing it if you want to, but you don't have to. I don't think this has ever been
thought of.
done. I've never seen it in any minutes in Cheyenne County, but it will be looked at from now on every 3 years.
And it just takes a simple motion from the commissioners that it has been reviewed and no action will be taken, if that's the decision. Now, if you decide to redistrict, then that's the commissioner's decision.
How many years has it been that way?
Forever.
And I haven't heard any complaints from everybody in that area as of now.
Because this is pretty much, well, this is the line for the commissioner district. To get the people, you'd have to bring it clear over into St. Francis. Both north and south. To have it equal. You know, there's not many people living on farms anymore to make it.
Is it set up to the population or is it set up to voters?
Voters.
Voters. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got the statistics for population right here, but that's a little different subject.
Right now, I mean, I have the numbers. Bird City has 195 less than Commissioner District 2. Bird City has 343 less than Commissioner District 3. That's why I'm saying you're going to be bringing in the city of St.
You're going to be moving
Francis.
your district. You're going to be moving the line for
The commissioner line, yes.
even for. You're going to have to move 2 lines if you're
Well,
going to
you're just
equalize.
basically taking
Well, you
Bird
just
City
take
and just
Bird
going west.
City's commissioner line and move it over.
But how many is district? What district am I in?
2.
2, and what's the difference between 2 and 3?
It is 159 different.
So you have to move.
Yeah,
If you're
you'd
going
have
to move it that way, you got to
you're
move.
correct. You'd have to move down too.
Might only have Jakeway left.
No, I don't.
I mean, Jake
I think we
Winkleman.
just, well, we have to leave it alone now, but I think it's good where it's at.
Because you would have a lot of St. Francis people running for Commissioner District 1 if you moved it that way. And then the war starts.
Yeah. Rodney, you're the only person who's ever brought it up. So I don't know, I don't think it's a problem
Okay, all right.
until we have more people complaining about it.
Yeah.
I'm not
I don't
complaining,
want-
I'm not
no,
complaining.
But I have put it on my calendar and it is reminding me every 3 years
Okay.
in January to get it on the,
To get it on there.
to get it
Okay.
on.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Rodney. Hey, David in? Yeah, I think he's here.
What was he doing if he wasn't complaining?
I grabbed a copy letter.
I'm good.
You know, if you moved it, you'd have to have an election.
Well-
Because you'd have 2 commissioners in 1 district.
What's interesting is when it comes to the actual moving of the lines, There's not a provision in the statute for an election.
Dave, how are you?
But
For what?
and if you're gonna redistrict, like move the lines, there's not a provision within that statute for election. The election part of that statute is only if you're gonna change the number of commissioners.
Commissioners.
But, I don't know. To me, it's just always worked. I mean,
Okay, on my bills, we paid a lot of gravel tickets there. On Durst machine, that seemed a little high, but he had to do some major work on this scraper frame, and we had it rebuilt. It took a lot longer than we wanted, but we pretty much got it all back together, and the freight alone would have been about that much to go to Foley, so. Because it's such a big piece of equipment there, so. Thought I'd give you a heads up on that. As far as work done, been busy discing shoulders. We did get Elevate Road 5 up there near the state line. And then we moved over to 10 and did some elevating there. We lacked about 4 rounds to finish that. Been getting the rain, so. That third week, we removed a lot of them guardrails. Like they're a hub guard or an angle iron guardrail. Did you notice what we was taking down that one day or not? Or it was on the River Road. And I know Norm Byer said you need to get rid of them because they wasn't the regular safety guardrails. They're just a 90-degree, 6-inch angle iron, and therefore it was more dangerous, if someone was to hit it. So we wound up moving them on one of them after the rainy days. So
Just cut them off.
we just unbolted and took them in. So everything.
Oh, they were bolted on.
Yeah. They're riveted on top and then just bolted on the
To the concrete?
concrete boxes. Where they had 3 of them there. So there was one right west of your guys's and right west of Douthit's, and then there was another, and I think it was right by Shades, if I remember right. One of them anyway. Somewhere there was a shorter one in there. So. All right, next is this, it's agreement with KDOT, Bureau of Local Projects. We finally got our contract. But this is to build that bridge, what we're calling on Trout Hill. We cannot exceed $200,000. It's 90-10 money. They're estimating it's going to be $285,000. And so Gerald's going to start staking on that. So. And then we're going to take out, you remember there's $150,000, and then we're going to take out that other bridge on Road T, north of Bird City, 6 miles and a half west of 161, in order to get another $50,000 credit. So that's where we're getting the $200,000.
That's west of 61.
What's that?
That's west of 61?
Yes. So I need to have everybody sign this one, and here's the extra copy. So if you guys want to sign that. Should be good to go. I have to sign both of them.
Can they start on the bridge?
They pulled in with some of the equipment and the bridge building stuff. They're planning on driving, piling Wednesday and Thursday. So Gerald or Pinco is going to be there inspecting when they're doing the driving or whenever they're, need to be. So, and we'll be back to us and moving along dirt. So, that's all I have. So,
Is that a deck they bring in, you said, or they?
I haven't really heard whether it's gonna be a steel deck or if they're gonna wind up doing a precast. I hope it's a precast because they can open it up faster. You know, like the ones we have out here, Holsworth, Alvin Holsworth we put in last time, it's a steel with already the deck formed to it. So, and they just bolt them together. But it may be all steel, which if they're good welders, it won't take them too long to do that either, so. But I haven't even heard.
Well, I just saw that in the minutes, he told us they'd be there the 24th of May, so.
Yeah, I know they started moving stuff in. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I seen some equipment going that way, so. Yeah, finally.
I think it might be a good idea to say that we did hire someone for Dave's position.
Steve Wilhelm,
Steve
you
Wilhelm.
offered it to him and he accepted.
Yeah. Okay. All right, sounds great.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
All right, you too.
Okay, do we have anything else?
I don't think so. Unless you want me to go dig something up.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn then.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?